issue that you get with these C70s, and also probably the V70 as well, if not the 850, because I think it's all basically got the same suspension geometry at the front. Terrible turning circle, especially on the C70 with the 225 tyres. Awful turning circle. But one of the problems you get is that what happens is that every now and then, especially after the winter, you get a kind of really sort of bad kind of groaning noise when you go on to full lock. So it only happens really when you get close to full lock, or if you're on full lock. You normally notice it when you're reversing, but you get this awful groaning noise, and it sounds like it could be coming from the spring top mounts, because this car's quite heavy. They're known to give way. They can sort of basically tear the rubbers, and then you get the metal spring hitting the top plate. So even the top plate bearings can go, which is also quite common. Or it could be that it does sound like you might even have a broken spring, because that's what that would sound like if that was some grinding. But quite often what it is, and this has been the case with my car since I've had it, is that if we get under the car here, there you go, you've got these little plastic or nylon sort of blocks of, well, plastic blocks basically on the bottom wishbone here, and they're steering stops. So obviously when your sort of steering goes onto full lock and this wheel moves round, there's just a little sort of bar there. It just touches the steering block, and what happens is the steering block, they become dry. You can see these ones are now showing blue. These ones have become dry, and yeah, it just basically makes this god-awful creaking noise. So the solution is just to put a little bit of grease on there. I use copper grease on mine, but any grease will do. Probably needs doing once every 2 years. If you get a really bad winter and you get a lot of salt thrown up at it, it seems to strip it off. But yeah, you just put a little bit of grease on there, like I'm going to do today, and it pretty much should cure it. Obviously, if the noise carries on, then it might be the top mount, or possibly it could be that you've got a broken spring in either sort of the bottom of the sort of coupling or the top of the coupling. But anyway, just going to do a little bit of grease on mine. I'll just sort of show you how much you need to put on. You know, I just generally sort of put a nice sort of coating of grease on the sort of plastic bush. It might be sometimes the plastic bush can actually wear away if you don't grease it. So you might get under here and you might find that you're going straight onto the wishbone. So in which case you can sort of, you know, just re-grease the wishbone there. But there you go. That's all you need to do. You know, it sounds like a very expensive something gone wrong, but in reality it is just purely these little bushes that dry out. It's just one of the little quirks of the Volvo, the sort of 70 series, and I think it also affects the 850 as well. If you know any different, you can leave that in the comments. But there you go, just a little tip of Volvo ownership. Thanks for watching. Cheers.